Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Oh, boy, it's good. Thank God it's Shabbos. Hey, Marvin, come on up here.
Coming up.
Good. You're going to do
Blessing of
the bless. Well, yeah, I'll have you do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Well,
We're here.
And some people had some problems getting on our streaming service last week. Mark Axon, I know you let me know that you were having some trouble. Let me know in the next day or two if things have worked out. We were offline for Facebook, and Rachel is looking after that tonight. I don't see it up yet, so I will be giving shout-outs if I see some people. In the meantime, those of you who are watching at home, please join with us. And we have our screen up with the words of some of the songs and some nice pictures to put us into a Shabbos mood. So we're cooking with oil, as they say. What does that mean? Cooking with oil? I don't know. Cooking
with gas.
Oh, it's the cooking with gas. All right.
Gas.
Cooking. Okay. Whatever. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and it's really good to see you all. Okay, let's start off with a nigun. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Let's pick up the tempo. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Oh, that's good. I think we're in a Shabbos kind of mood. A Shabbos mood now. So I'm going to call Sharon. Would you be so kind as to lead us? You can bring Dallas up with you. You could lead us in the blessing over the candles tonight. And that can be found on page 120. And Cody, if you can take a shot of just one shot of the candle blessings on our screen, and also get Sharon and Dallas in the picture sometime. Oh, here's our president. Oh, El Presidente. Yeah, just grab that chair over there. Okay, excellent. Very good. Okay, we're on page 120. So make sure that Cody, make sure that you get Sharon and Dallas in the picture. The blessing over these Shabbos candles.
Now?
Yes. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Okay. Hannah, would you bring your dad up? And maybe you could do the Kiddush on page. Yeah, very good. You know, he's a little bit... bring Sawyer up too. Excellent. No, just stand right there. Right? Did I know what? Your birthday's in 2 weeks. And yours is in 3. Can you believe that? A week, you're cousins and you got birthdays within a week of each other. Okay, so your dad will lift up the wine glass, and he will lead us, and then we'll do the Kiddush, the blessing over the wine, and we'll do the full Kiddush following that. Okay. Melech Olam, Asher Kiddushan, Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho Bi'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lamahaseh v'reshit kihu yom techila lamikraye kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim Ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uveratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Let's continue with Ma Yefeh Hayom, and that can be found on page 128. Ma Yefeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yefeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Now here's one I usually don't do on my own. Well, let's do Hine Matov. We all know that one. Hine Matov umanayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Page 130, this is one we haven't done for a long time. Psalm 95, Lechu neranana. It's about dancing and singing. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena LaAdonai. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekad mafana betodam. Naria, naria, letzur yishenu, nekad mafana. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neran LaAdonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neran LaAdonai. Very good. Let's go to Lachado D, page 138. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Shamor v'zachur b'dibur echad, Hishmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad ushmo echad, l'shemu tiferet tila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat in Kabbalah. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitori, kiva orech uri, 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 shidaberi, kevod Adonai, alayech nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Bo'if b'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha utzala, toch emunei am skula. Bo'y chala, bo'y chala, lecha dodi likrat chala, penei Shabbat nekabla. Lecha dodi likrat chala, penei Shabbat in kabla. Now, Bonnie, Marvin's Bonnie is watching, along with Agnes and George. Shabbat Shalom to you. And who is this? Oh, Sherry LePage and Marlene and Phyllis Cohen and Cappy Brown. Sarah Elizabeth is watching. Phyllis Cohen is watching. Bill Brody is watching. Shabbat Shalom to all of you at home who are watching on our streaming and on Facebook. And they all wish you here in the sanctuary Shabbat Shalom as well. Would you advance that one on the right when we get to it? Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shamei Rabbah Be'alma devarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Ba'gola Uvizman kari vayimaru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam ulmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh Vitala Shmei de Kudesha Barichu Le'elam min kol birchata Vashirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran Bialma Vayimaru Amen. 146, we rise for the Baruch Hu. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam vaed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam vaed. Lai Lie, 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 lie. 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 And now Scott will lead us on the readings, with the readings on page 148 and 150.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to a plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai, Sefot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv
Aravim. We continue on 150.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And we rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Avayed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Avayed. Please be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam lo'ot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot bein enecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'vihisharecha lemahan tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Emed. And now Mi Chamocha on 158. Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tefilot, osei feret, nora tefilot, osei feret. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokeya yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze'lianu v'yamru Ze'lianu v'yamru Adonai Yimlo Leolam Va'ed Adonai Yimlo Leolam Va'ed. And Cheryl has joined us. Cheryl, Shabbat Shalom. And Allah, I haven't seen Allah for a long time. And so we're getting lots of people watching at home tonight, which is very nice to know you. You've joined us here in the sanctuary. So we continue on page 161. Okay, so Sawyer and Hannah and Dallas, be ready. I'm going to call you up in a minute, okay? In the meantime, the big people are going to read top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Okay, come on up. I need your help for this Shamru. Let's see if we can get it on our screen there. There we go. Okay, right. No, you stand down there so everybody can see you. Okay, ready? Here we go. Where's your crown? Vishamru b'nei Yisrael ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dor v'dolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Hey. That's it. Good. Okay, do this. Dallas, come on, dude. Point to yourself. B'nei u'b'nei Yisrael Oti le'olam Oti le'olam. Ready? V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat. Stand down there, guys. Okay, ready? Make 6. Ready? Uva yom hashvi. No. Uva sheshet yamim asa Adonai. And you point to the sky. Et hashamayim. Now to the earth. Ve'et ha'aretz. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et. Now you got to make 7. L'dorotam v'ri. That's it. Uva yom hashvi'i Shavat vayinafash. Shavat vayinafash. Shavat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Okay, kids, go back and to your seats, and we rise for the tefillah on page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shamo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim, Atah Rav LaHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Meitim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Vishenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Givurot Umido Melach Melech Memid Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah Lechachayot Meitim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaMeitim Nekadesh Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalalucha Tzela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. And we take our seats. And we continue together on page 171. We read together, top of the page. Days pass and years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. And we continue on page 175. At the bottom of the page, you are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch Atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah. Top of page 177. Once more together. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulachana Lehodot. We continue with our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasihim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. And Dodie and Bob are watching from Illinois. Oh, we can't wait till you get back, and so we can daven together in the same room. But it's so good to have you with us in our virtual congregation as well. Well, first of all, where is Barbara? Barbara Drapkin, Dr. Drapkin. I saw you on the news the other night. It's not easy being a community leader. You know, when you join a condo board, I know it's tough going. You know, when you join a congregation, the board of a temple, it's not easy. But someone has to do it. And I saw you on television really making a difference in the hemispheres where you lived, you know, in terms of inspections. And you made the Hallandale government stand up and take notice and get busy to make sure that the people in your apartments, you know, what, there are 4 of them, I think, 4 towers, are that they're doing their job of inspection. Good for you. It's not easy. Well, so I'm going to apologize to Barbara and Stan and Betty and Ursula, who attend. They're real regulars on my Saturday morning Shabbos class. What we talked about last week, I thought was very important, and I thought it would be good to share with the temple, with the whole congregation tonight. This is more or less based on last week's Torah portion, but I just find the message of Ve'et Hanan, last week's Torah portion, to be so relevant and about what does it mean to be Jewish, and it tells us how important the message of Judaism, especially the book of Deuteronomy, Devarim we call it in Hebrew, has been in human civilization, and especially in the United States of America. Let me just open up with a pasuk, a verse from last week's Torah portion, which is kind of strange. Let me just share it with you. Listen carefully. Observe them carefully, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the eyes of the nations. Observe them carefully. What are they talking about? What's Moses and God talking about? God speaking through Moses. Well, of course, the mitzvot, the Torah, the laws of the Torah. And it says it's your wisdom and your understanding in the eyes of the nations, which is kind of a strange phrase. In the eyes of the nation. In the eyes of the nations. Now, when we consider the context, the historical context in which those words were spoken, they don't make much sense. We were a recently liberated people. We had lived as slaves for several hundred years. Some say 400, some disputed and say 250 years in Egypt. And there we were in the desert. People who didn't have their own nation yet. We lived in the wilderness. We had no material wealth, no military power, no influence in the world at all. And yet it says, observe them carefully, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the eyes of the nations. Isn't that interesting? Maybe it was a prophecy that this little slave people who didn't have huge numbers, and that was going to really be an example, or give the nations an example of how to live. Yet, and you can see the influence of the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, in the United States of America, in the covenantal language of that in every inaugural address almost that every American president has ever made. Listen to JFK, John Kennedy, in 1961. He said, "The rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God." Now, up to the modern period, right up to the American Revolution, there was this notion of the divine right of kings. The divine right of kings. The British, the French, all of the kings and all of the aristocracies all over the world said, "Oh, we have the right to rule others by God or the gods." Nowhere did people say that human beings just regular people have rights. But here you see John Kennedy saying, this comes right out of the Torah. The rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. Barack Obama in 2009, listen to what he said. He was referring to the founders of the United States. He says, "With eyes fixed on the horizon and God's grace upon us, we carried forth that great gift of freedom and delivered it safely to future generations." It was the Torah, not governments, not philosophers, but the Torah said the dignity of human beings, liberty and freedom is guaranteed it's not something that governments give you. It's something that God gives you. That is the proper state of affairs. And the Bible, throughout the Bible, that's what it's about. It's about everybody. It's about human dignity for everybody. The Bible was a very subversive book. Very subversive. Let me explain. Right up to the 1400s, before Gutenberg, nobody except clergy had the Bible. The Bible was written in Greek or in Latin in Christian countries. We Jews, incidentally, we educated everybody, even poor people. The average Jew could read the Bible, could read Tanakh, but not in Christian society. Only the priests could read it. And it was against the law to translate the Bible into the vernacular. If you translated the Bible into the vernacular, you could die. As a matter of fact, the first translation of the Bible into English was done in the 1500s by a man by the name of William Tyndale. And you know what happened to him in England? He was burned at the stake. Burned at the stake. We don't want the Bible to be in the hands of regular people. It could be trouble. Could be trouble. Well, there was the next translation of the Bible was done into English, interestingly, was done in Geneva, Switzerland. They couldn't do it in England. Somehow they could do it in Switzerland. It's the Geneva Bible. Translated into English, and it was smuggled into England. And it had little commentaries around the margins of the pages, just like we have in the Talmud. And Shakespeare read it. Cromwell read it. John Donne read it. Milton read it. And it was trouble. listen to some of those commentaries around the margins. It was interesting. You know the story of the Egyptian midwives who disobeyed Pharaoh? You know, the kings of England and France didn't want that story to get out. But on the commentary it said, their disobedience in this was lawful. Oh, look at this. That's why you didn't want this. If you were a king, you didn't want this to get. Well, these women in the Torah, they disobeyed the Pharaoh. And what does it say? It was lawful and it was good. In Exodus 21, or Exodus 1, verse 22, there was a little commentary. It said, when tyrants cannot prevail by deceit, they burst into open rage. It's very subversive stuff. They couldn't suppress this very subversive book we call the Bible. Eventually, they got rid of the Geneva Bible, and they had the King James version, which has no commentary. But this led to a revolution in England. For about 50 years, England was a republic. They chopped off the head of poor Charles I, probably growing out of this whole thing of, hey, there's no divine right of kings, there's the divine rights of human beings. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, the English will have to decide that. They had the Restoration for about 50 years after Cromwell. They brought back the royalty, the monarchy. But there was a group in England, though, who listened, who kept those subversive ideas in their heads. Who were they? The Puritans. Those first settlers from Europe that came to America. On the Mayflower, you had John Winthrop writing. What did he write? He wrote the Mayflower Compact. It was really a covenant in which some of these ideas, and you see many of the rules that the Puritans established here in America were based on the Hebrew Bible. And, you could see how there's a direct line that went from the translation of the Bible into English to the American Revolution. You can see it. There is this sense in America that, hey, it's not the government that gives you freedom. Freedom it's a divine gift. This is the way God intended it to be. There's a prayer that we say in the morning. It's Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asani ben chorin, or bat chorin. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has made me free. No, God made me to be a free person. That's the natural state of affairs. Now, I just want to see if I can find it here. Listen to these words, or you can read them along with me, by John Adams, the second president of the United States of America. Listen to these words. And if these don't make you proud to be Jewish, I don't know what words would make you proud. Listen to what John Adams said. I will insist that the Hebrews have done more to civilize men than any other nation. If I were an atheist and believed in blind eternal fate, I should still believe that fate had ordained the Jews to be the most essential instrument for civilizing the nations. Isn't that an incredible statement by the second president of the United States? So this is what it meant. This is what it meant in last week's Torah portion. For this is your wisdom and understanding in the eyes of the nations. One day, the Gentile nations will get what the Torah is all about. And certainly the founders of the United States of America understood this covenantal language. Okay, let's sing O Say Shalom. O say Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'himeru, himeru, amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. V'himeru, amen. We rise for the Aleinu on page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedola yotze breshit, shelo asanu kogoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegohar aleinu kechol hamonam, vanachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu, v'nehemar v'haya Adonai lamelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shamo, u'shamo, u'shamo echad. Maestro, do you know we have some birthdays? Ah, yes. A little birthday music, please. Gloria Winton has a birthday this week, and our very own Bonnie Luderman has a birthday this week. Miles Mallinson, who is serving in the U.S. Marines, we bar mitzvahed him. He's having a birthday. And Dr. Barry Kaplowitz. Barry, I hope you're watching. And Stuart Sherline. And Aaron Hesh. Someone else we, is Hannah's birth? Is it this week, Hannah? Oh, it's in 2 weeks. Well, we'll remember. We won't forget. But there's some other kids. Sydney Margolis just had her bat mitzvah. And Joshua McMurray. So let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And let's do, can I have some romantic music? Yes. Oh, yes. La da 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 da. Barbara and David Siegel are celebrating their 10th anniversary. Barbara, who runs our JLC, who does so much here in our congregation, runs our youth, our family services. So Barbara and David, this is for you. Any other people you know celebrating anniversaries? Oh, listen to this. Cuddle, get close together, put your arms around each other. Big finish. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha, Ye'er Adonai panav alecha v'yuchineka, Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And I'd like to know about those people in our extended congregational family who are in need of refuah, that is healing this week. People who are struggling with some malady or other. I know of Karen Morris and Barry Meyerson. Are there others that you'd like to include? Mitch Burke, yes. Okay. Anyone else? Julio? Very good. And you at home, if you could just say, we won't be able to hear, of course, but just say out loud, the people that you are praying to get some kind of relief from their physical illness this week. Page 509. Mi shebeirach. It's actually 511. Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength bless the one before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu, mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Very nice. And we rise for the mourner's Kaddish. We are observing the yordzites of the following people this week: Lester Altman, Edward Bernberg, Earl Kane, Gertrude Cohen, Charles Derringer, Elmer Ecker, Henry Eisenberg, Madeline Elfring, Frank Ernst, Dorothy Faber, Dan Goldberg, Sylvia Gordon, Charles Greenman, Esther Goodwin, Hyman Hafner, Estelle Haskin, Hilda Honig, Benjamin Levant, Jack Levine, Anna Levy, Bernard Lewis, Phyllis Licht, Gertrude Meister, Hortense Fox Miller, Sarah Newberger, Sylvia Plasner, Bernard Price, Milton Redlick, Kim Rice, Lawrence Saber, David Sainer, Kitty Sapperstone, Evelyn Schiff, David Schulkein, Margaret Schwartz, Kalel Sirota, Nathan Stein, Hattie Strauss, Moisha Tellerman, and Marcel Wachstock. And as always, we remember the 6 million. And we are presently in the Shloshim period for Elliot Block, Diana Pardell, Nicole and Ruslan Manasherov, Vanessa Peltz, and Lisa Petullo. The Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shamir Rabbah, Be'alma devarach chirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedechal Beit Yisrael, Bagala v'yizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olamei lamaya, Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit nazeh, V'yit hadar, v'yit haleh, v'yit Allah, shmeid kutsha brichu, le'ala min kol berchata v'shirata, tushpachata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom v'imrumav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. So Lori and Michelle and Jessica and Jill and Sonia, they have and Joan have also joined our services in the last few moments. Okay, Scott, you have some announcements, I believe.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So, flowers and oneg are sponsored by Sisterhood. Thanks, Sisterhood. And, hey, no one sponsored tonight's music. So we have openings. If you'd like to sponsor the music, please call the office. And don't forget, you could sponsor the beautiful flowers. And we have the oneg to go. Tomorrow morning, we have Torah study at 9:30. That's followed by Shabbat morning service. That's on Zoom. Sunday, 8:30, the Brotherhood Bikers rev their engines again. It's not engines, it's just chains. But not those type of chains. All right, so they're bikers, but the chains on the bike. Okay, so let's go for that. It's going to be a good event. Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the evening, everything you always wanted to know about Judaism with Cantor Manny, and that's on Zoom. Thursday at 9 a.m., we continue with Morning Minyan, and we have those bagels and coffee, right, Don? Don's my bagel man. Next Friday, of course, we continue with Shabbat services in the sanctuary, and that's also live streamed. In 3 weeks, we will have this on August 22nd from 12 to 3. That's the Eat and Greet, and it's barbecue and a fun day. So we'll have DJs. We have a mini concert with Cantor Manny and Richie. We have activities for all ages. The Sisterhood gift shop will be open. We have a blood drive going on. It's going to be a busy day. It's not something you want to miss. So tell your friends about it, and especially if they're not members, you want to show off this beautiful temple. So put that down on your calendar and make sure they come here. And, of course, we have trending every Thursday on email. So let's see. It was March over a year ago when we started hearing information about COVID. And, of course, before you know it, things were being closed. And we watched. We knew before vaccinations came out to wear our masks. And slowly but surely the vaccinations came out. People started getting their vaccinations. As you know, Dee last week talked about people who get vaccinated, those who don't. And if you read the newspaper or watch the news, we've heard about these variants. And everyone's been watching it. And here at the temple, we have been watching. And so, what was it, back in April, we opened up our sanctuary. And we made sure we did our social distancing. We wore masks. And little by little, people started, again, getting more vaccinated. And we said, you can come here, of course. Our doors are still open, after that. And you can wear your mask. And then we sort of said, okay, no mask. So, of course, we've been watching the news. We're hearing now about CDC is recommending to wear masks again. So we are following this. And after this service, going forward, we will require all congregants, anyone who steps into this synagogue, to wear a mask. And we are following this. Now, things could change. We hope it gets better. We do know the details. I don't need to go into those who receive the vaccinations. That you're better off than those who don't, but we care about your safety. So again, going forward, we will require masks. The events that we have here, we will require masks. High holidays are just around the corner. And our ritual committee is working I'm getting, what am I saying? Diligently. Thank you. I'm a little
been there a million times.
Yeah, I have a little jet lag going on here. But anyway, they're working on this. And, of course, right now we are open for the high holidays. You have friends who want to buy tickets. We're selling tickets. So right now we're staying open. Again, we're watching everything. If things change, we could contact everyone and let you know what the changes may be. But at this point, we're open. So everyone's welcome to come in. We're wearing masks for the high holidays. We will do social distancing. And we will be careful. And again, make sure if you do not receive a vaccination, get that vaccination. Because here's the story. If you didn't get COVID and you didn't have a vaccine, that's one thing. But right now they're saying for this variant, the Delta variant, if you do not have that vaccination, you are going to get the Delta variant. It's no doubt. So, again, we're watching. Things are still going on. We're not closing down, but we're asking everyone to please wear the mask, and it's a mandatory thing. Mm-hmm. And Shabbat Shalom on that note.
And it's not a theoretical thing. I know somebody who delayed getting the vaccination, and recently it was diagnosed with the COVID. And this person may have transmitted it to someone in her circle. So this is no joke.
No.
This is not something theoretical. It's not happening to other people. This is a person I personally know, and I was worried about this person, encouraged this person to get so this is serious stuff. And thank you for really taking the leadership on this.
I didn't have to say that.
Well, yeah, but we got to, and because we love. Oh, Bonnie Goner is watching.
Hey, Bonnie.
Very nice too. Okay, so we're going to end with this song. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. It means come, let us sing a song of hallelujah. It goes, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Let's Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. One more time. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Please, kids, do you want to join me for the motzi? Okay, come on up. Come on up. Stand right behind me. That's it. They're running to get challah. Okay. Okay, come on up. And your birthday is in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And yours is in 3?
No, 1.
Oh, wow.
And how old are you going to be? And how old will you be?
I'm going to turn 6, but that's the way he's
Are they allowed to turn 6?
Huh?
Are they allowed to turn 6? Yeah.
Well, join me in the motzi. Come here, guys. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Okay, Agnes, don't worry. I've cut a piece here for Richie. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
There, you want to take a piece
Yes.
back to your uncle?
I want to sing
Okay. Yeah. Take one to your for your bubby.
Baba, I found this.
Oh, good. Well, yeah, leave it there. You can play it next week if you like, but there are a lot of people online. I think we had more online than we had in the sanctuary.